Yate from New Mexico. Welcome to my channel, New Mexico Outdoors with Mountaintop Bob. All right, so let's get to it right off the bat. Been 9 months since I put a video out thereabouts. So I'd have to look to see. It's been a long time. A lot of stuff's went on. Reason for that. We'll get into that in a minute. But to start, I want to get a video out and get my YouTube channel cranked back up. Like I said, 9 months, a long time. So it took a while to figure out a camera. Finally got me a vlogging camera that seems to be working okay for me. So that's helping a lot. I guess might as well just get into what's been going on around here. Well, first of all, in my last few videos, I had some out there where we were trying to sell this house where we're at. And luckily, I'm not going to have to do that. We put a really high price on it because we didn't really want to sell it. And if we did sell it, what we needed to replace it, yada yada. But I prefer just to stay here. However, Susie and I, our ages are, well, I can't speak for her, but she ain't far behind me, and I turned 70 last May. All right, so about the time the videos started slowing down, I did do a couple after the thing. I did one called Spending the Summer with Cancer. Susie had cancer, and it looks like we may have beat it. We're hoping. I'm so hoping. At the moment, everything looks good. She's overcome her surgery. Everybody's all healed up. We're back 100% where that's concerned, as close to that as we're going to get. And then right after that, I turned 70, and a little bit before I turned 70, my insurance company started pinging on me about having this test done and that test done and another test done, and it just went on and on. And I chose to do that simply because at my age, I haven't had a lot of physicals. We moved here in 5 years ago. We finished up 5 complete years living here in New Mexico, moving here from Florida. And I haven't done anything with my health other than, well, I haven't done anything. And I'll be honest, I got lazy when we got here. But I was able to get out and go and hike and do anything I wanted to do, go up on the roof of the house. And we painted almost all of the house. I got one little spot left. And right when all this cancer and stuff started, we kind of got off of that and never got around to finishing it. So I have one spot left to finish. All right, so moving on. Because of the doctor's stuff going on, they had me pretty scared. I'd already had one little health scare that turned out to be really nothing. It was just a kidney stone. So the doctor that I got right away, there was 2 of them actually, two doctors. One moved on and a new one came and took her place, and I really liked both of them. But both of them wanted to put me on high blood pressure medicine and cholesterol medicine and all the stuff that you're supposed to do when you get of an age. So I had already tried this. Before I moved from Florida, the doctors there were doing the same thing, wanted me on high blood pressure medicine and all of this, but I didn't see a heart specialist there. So I was reluctant to do that. I did try it, and had the same consequences. A lot of aches and pains, no energy, jittery all the time, felt bad, short-tempered. It just really, I don't know what it is about pharmaceutical drugs, but they really messed me up. I guess it probably saved my life because I'm still here through all the drug problems that's been around the nation since the 50s when I was born, and I've been able to avoid them. So, but anyway, back to the story. So I got off of them again. Got an ant right there. More ants. So I got off of them without her real permission and not really what she wanted me to do. So she scheduled me for an appointment with a heart specialist. So now I'm kind of scared, right? So, and it takes time here in New Mexico. The medical system is really, really good, but slow. So it took a while to get to see this guy, this heart specialist, and so he ran me through all kinds of tests, everything that he could do without actually sticking a needle in me and going up and looking around in my heart with some kind of camera or something. And what he found was is that and the same thing with the doctor. After I went to her and we did everything that she wanted to do, all she found was a little bit of high blood pressure and a little bit of cholesterol. So I got a pretty good, um, what's the word, return on that? Prognosis. Anyway, I was found to be in pretty good shape for my age. And so then I go see this heart specialist and they did all that. And he went over everything. I had to wear a heart monitor for 7 days, right to the minute. And wear this thing on my finger all night, all for 24 hours or something. And they checked, my blood gases. They did I didn't know they could do that. Ultrasound on my heart. I got to lay there and watch my thumper thumping. And so he went, he looked at it all and looked at everything and checked it all out. And for my age, I've got just a little bit of, he didn't really say it was hardening, but, and it's not really enlarged, but my heart shows that it's old, but it's doing its job and it's doing it well. And so he recommended, after all the, everything that we did, to stay off the blood pressure medicine, try to control my cholesterol with my diet, and told me that I had a beer belly. And I informed him that I don't drink alcohol, and I hadn't drank alcohol in a few decades since I had a drink of alcohol. So we'll leave that alone there. And but he don't believe it. I got this big old belly. I got this in the last 5 years since I came here from Florida, and so this is my big problem. I'm starting to get a little overweight again. I took advantage of New Mexico's laid back lifestyle. And I'm going to be quiet just for a second. Now, I don't hear real good, but my hearing don't hear nothing out there. It's so peace and quiet. There's no people here. And this is where we live. And so, all right, moving on. So the bottom line is my thumper's in good enough shape that I need to get off my butt, get off the couch, and start getting some exercise. I'm having a little bit of issues with arthritis in my hips, and so it's making it difficult. However, the last time that I found myself in the shape that I'm in now, I was in my early to mid 50s and was able to pull out of it and get it all back. I was really looking good. I did everything. I did weight training, did the exercises, did the health kick, did the whole shot. Um, and that lasted until about 8 years ago. So for the last 8 years, I've been off of that. So it's time to get back to work. I don't have an excuse that my heart is old and maybe I should not be doing things for fear of a heart attack. So that's no longer an excuse. So, all right, let's move on from there. I really want to get back on to my YouTube channel, because getting out walking, taking pictures, and doing that sort of stuff is good exercise. The problem is the last trip that I made down to the lake walking, I had a hard time getting home. I mean, I was in some serious hip pain by the time I got here. But I think if I get out and I exercise and I start slow and I start walking and I start doing the things necessary, maybe I can get that back. Maybe I can beat that some. So that's the plan. I got to see this doctor again in 6 months. Now he's 78 years old. And he's just as spry as he can be and smart as a whip, and he's got it all together. For that reason alone, if no other, I'm going to take his advice wholeheartedly and try to impress him in 6 months. And for my own health, not really to impress him, but I want to use that as a goal in 6 months. I don't want to be over 200 pounds, which I am now. I don't want to have all this no more. I want to try to get rid of some of it and try to get in shape so I can get out and continue my YouTube channel and still feel good about it, calling it New Mexico Outdoors. All right, in the meantime, while this is happening, I intend to put videos out as to my progress and what I'm doing, um, my exercises, my walks. I'm 4 days into it. This is the fourth day that I've ate right. He said milk was for babies. Get off of that. And I love milk. It's so soothing. But so I haven't had a drink of milk. Vegetables. I'm eating a lot more vegetables and learning how to cook vegetables, and that's kind of fun. And paying attention to what kind of meat I eat and cutting my um, French fry and cheeseburger fast food down to my trips to um, Grant's. There's a hamburger joint over there I just love. So I'm not going to let him take that away. I'm going to still eat my cheeseburger and my French fries when we go to Grant's, which is only maybe once or twice a month. We don't go there a lot. And any of my other trips out and about, I always try to go get something that's a little better for me than a cheeseburger and French fries. All right, so now moving on. Right in the middle of all this stuff, the stump jumper, the pickup truck, the Ford F-150 took a dive on me, and the oil pump went out. And I was really aggravated about the oil pump going out. I never had an oil pump go out on a Ford truck, and I've owned them all the way since 1973. Get a little coffee here. But as it turns out, I'm thinking about this after getting a truck home, and paying the $200 or whatever plus towing charge and being without a vehicle and that I could count on of any kind. And after getting over the anger of it and being aggravated with it, I wouldn't call it anger, but I was aggravated and thinking that, never had an oil pump go out on a Ford truck ever. Then I realized, what, that Ford F-150 2003 Lariat has 308,000 miles on it. The body's still in good shape. The front end, which I've had to have some work done on it, I'll admit that. It's in perfect shape. It drives perfect. The tires is good on it. It's got new shocks, relatively new all the way around it. It's been tuned up. It's got all kind of new stuff in the motor and on the motor. But the oil pump went out at 308,000 miles. Now, if you go and you look, you're supposed to change the oil pump out around 150 to 200,000. It's recommended just go ahead and change out the oil pump and the timing gears, the timing chain, and the tensioners, which is not that big a deal. And that's really all that this truck needs. But I'm not going to fix it because it's not four-wheel drive. And my road, if you followed my videos, on a good day is a bad road. So I have beat the crap out of that Ford truck. I have nothing bad to say about it. I've never had a Ford truck the engine last to 308,000 miles. So how would I know if the oil pump would have lasted that long? So I'm over that. I'm over being mad at Ford. Looking forward to getting another one only in four-wheel drive about the same year. All right, so we replaced that with a Nissan, and I'll be doing a walk around on that one of these days. And but it's a Nissan Armada four-wheel drive, automatic. You don't have to get out. It's a beautiful car. I love it, and it's older and it is used. Got quite a few miles on it, but for that road out there, I don't want to put nothing really new. I don't want to have a lot of money tied up in something. I want to drive up and down my road out here ever. All right, so last but not least, my house. My house is what it is. We came here from Florida with enough loot to pay cash for this place. Um, we rode into town. First thing we did was come out here and find it, which the GPS thing won't bring you here. Takes you to the other side of the lake and tries to drive you across it. So that's Blue Water Lake. For those who haven't watched any of my videos, I live on Blue Water Lake right outside of a little town called Thoreau, New Mexico. And we love it here. I absolutely do not want to move. So the house is now officially off the market, and I'm officially going to try to get in good enough shape so we can stay here and enjoy it for another decade, I hope. Um, I figured when we got here, 5 years to 10 years, we probably want to sell it and move into town or somewhere a little closer to conveniences and stuff. But that's not the case. Uh, 5 years went by like the snap of a finger. It's like I feel like we drove in this yard the first time yesterday, and 5 years already went by. And for those of you who consider moving to New Mexico, it's different. It's not. It's not like any place I've ever lived, but it's different for me in a good way. And I'm not going to tie up a lot of time in this video going into that, but after 5 years being here, I think that I should do another what it's like to live in New Mexico. I did kind of a joking one earlier on for the channel, but it's been a couple years ago now. All right, so moving on. Henceforth, until I can get back in shape enough to get out and really do some outdoor stuff. And while I'm waiting on a second vehicle to back up the one that we got in the yard, before I decide to go out and you know put any unnecessary wear and tear on our car, I'm looking around for a beater or something equivalent to what we already got. So if something happened to it, I got a backup, right? So that's what that's about. Because we're out here. We're not, it's $250 is the cheapest you're gonna get a car towed home, and there's nothing out here. There's nothing. I mean, Theroux's got a few things, but that's almost 10 miles away. It's 8 miles on the pavement and another mile here at least from my house up to the pavement on the dirt road. So um, I have to be careful. That's part of living in New Mexico. And again, I'll get into that later on. So I need to finish this up. I want to post this, and this will be officially the last video of New Mexico Outdoors with Mountaintop Bob. And until for the next 6 months anyway, everything is going to be New Mexico Outdoors with Mountaintop Bob. It is what it is. Episode 1. And that will be coming up right after this, the first one of those, but this one here. All right, so I did want to touch on the weather because I'm going to try to start doing some weather videos. And I want to do them early in the morning, but I'm having issues with sleeping in now. I'm sleeping too daylight these days, so and then it takes a while to wake up. So I'm gonna try to get back into my normal routine, getting up a little bit earlier, try to get out here and do some morning weather videos, what's going on in New Mexico, what's happening around Theroux, maybe Blue Water Lake fishing reports if I ever get off my lazy can and go down there and catch some. Um, it is a stocked lake. It's got the tiger muskie in it for big fish, and they get really big. They got to be big to keep, which I don't see why anybody want to really keep one. But anyway, but they do stock it with trout, and there's catfish and other fish down there. So, and I got all my stuff, even got my fishing license. So hopefully, now that I know my heart's up for it, and I can I can get back into the exercise and be more active, which I need to do. Maybe that'll be part of it. We'll see. In the meantime, thanks for watching. And I'm going to sign off and say, see ya.